WDBX here in Carbondale is 91.1 FM community radio for Southern Illinois. About 3 years ago, I was working at the shop, and I was playing Iron Horse Bluegrass's Led Zeppelin cover album. And this guy was walking down the aisle, and he said, "Is this Led Zeppelin with banjos?" And I said, "Yeah." And we struck up a conversation, and it turned out to be Randy Oxford, who has a radio show on WDBX. And as I was talking to Randy, he said, "You kind of like the same music I like. Are you interested in sitting in on my radio show and covering a few spots each year for me?" And I said, "Sure." WDBX 91.1 FM began in 1996 with 40 volunteer DJs and now has over 100 DJs who produce more than 80 weekly shows. Several of those shows have been on the air from the beginning. The shows on WDBX reflect the diverse community of Southern Illinois, along with local talk shows and community information. WDBX 91.1 FM covers over a half dozen counties in Southern Illinois, reaching over 100,000 listeners. So after covering Randy's show, a slot came open, and the station manager at that time, Brian Powell, he said, "Do you want the spot?" And I said, "Sure." He said, "What kind of music you gonna do?" And I said, "Rock." And he says, "What are you gonna call it?" And I said, "Rock with the Ox," because I've been going by the Ox. I don't want anyone knowing my last name on the radio. One day the local artist forum spot came open, and I jumped at the chance because I had already been having people in on my radio show and interviewing them and letting them play live on the radio anyway. And so I took over the local artist spot, and each week I film my radio show and throw it on youtube.com/rockwiththeox and get a lot of neat videos. And this documentary is over some of my favorites that I've captured here in the last couple of months. So hope you enjoy it. Come across this article in a local entertainment magazine about Ibis John, and it's talking about how he had this new CD out and stuff. And I'd noticed he had been getting a lot of shows around the area, and talked a little bit about his history, and he was one of the people I wanted to get in on this documentary. I got his number from Will Stevens, who has a show on WDBX also, and I gave Ibis a call, and he said, "Sure, I'll be on your show," and I was thrilled to death. I looked at his website, and I noticed, well, he must be pretty popular because he's got shows everywhere all the time, and he goes, different places, different areas. But he lives around here. He sent me a free copy of his CD, thank goodness. I played it, just gave him a lot of airplay, still do, enjoy his stuff. He was gracious enough to come into the studios and allow me to film him, and I got some really nice videos out of him. So here's a little bit of the Ibis John interview on my radio show on WDBX, Rock with the Ox, the local artist forum.
My name is Ibis John, and I moved down to Cape about a year ago. I started listening to blues and kind of just, over the years just getting further and further into the woods with it. Happiness just came along, stayed for a while now. We can't forget about all the fun ways. Things don't seem so fun now, but I'll get through it all somehow. I only think about some better days. I think being in this area, for the last 10 years has really influenced the style. And she was looking right at me when I must have been looking around. The CD is kind of a culmination of 2 years of work. I had this vision when I first started it to include a lot of different musicians and play with some of the local musicians that I've always wanted to collaborate with. And sip and cry, since the day she said goodbye, think of all the little things she did. The finished product ended up doing What's Natural, and I call it that because it's just kind of a wide mix of different styles and instrumentation. Happy with the way it turned out. It's going really well so far in terms of sales and getting heard. Right at me, I must have been looking on. She was going on, and I tried to come along. But you just can't change the way things have to be. It's been nominated for 2 Blues Music Awards, a Blues Blast Award and Blues Week St. Louis Award. I mean, we play a lot in Chicago, a lot in St. Louis, Nashville, around the Midwest. We've done some trips, a little bit further, down to Texas before, but I like to keep it around here for the most part. I'm from Chicago originally, and I came down to Carbondale to go to school back in '99, and I graduated from SIU in '05, and right about that same time is when things were really picking up with the band and started to enjoy some success, and the years just kept on passing by, and I've been here since then. Now I live down in Cape, so. She was looking right at me when I must have been looking around. I guess you could just say that I like being a musician. I like all the different aspects of it. There's something that works about it, I think. You just can't change the way things have to be. You just can't change the way things have to be.
Having the local artist show on WDBX, I feel it's only fair to reach out to every genre. And I reached out to the metal band Sacrifice the Gods, and they came on the show, and we had a really great show. And then after that show, I kept in touch with Leon, and I offered him to come on my show and get some metal bands on there occasionally. And Leon's now a permanent co-host on my radio show on WDBX. Rock with the Ox and Leon show, the local artist forum. Here's Sacrifice the Gods and a little interview that I had with them guys.
Hey, my name's Leon. This is Cooper. There's Tim. We've been a band since 2008. Had a couple of minor lineup changes. We once had a second guitarist too, by the way. Hopefully we'll have a second one again someday, but 2008 to 2012, 4 years, and we're rocking pretty hard. Tim plays drums, Cooper plays guitar, Larry plays bass, and I sing, and we just kind of progress a little bit, with each set of recordings. I've noticed we have a tendency to work in like 5 or 6 song segments, and each one has its own kind of feel, and well, we did the World Food Program benefit last year at SIU, and playing benefits is really cool because on a selfish side you get exposure, but you learn so much so many small details about so many little problems that you or I might not necessarily experience.
No, we booked this show, and they were all like, yeah, we want you guys to come play. We saw you down at the bar the other weekend, and it was packed. So we want you guys to play. And we're like, all right, we'll totally do this. Post up flyers everywhere, do all this. Well, then like 3 days before we played, they're like, yeah, we looked you guys up on YouTube. Saw you have a song called Aborted Baby Jesus. That is not fine. That is not cool. You can't play here. We're going to offer you guys some money to not play. And we're like, no, man, we've done a lot of work. We're going to come and play. We promise we won't play that song. They thought we were devil worshippers. So we thought we'd just go in there, fake blood everywhere. And of course, we played Aborted Baby Jesus.
We were shut down 3 or 4 songs into it. We always have fun, you know, like, if you've not seen us, you need to come and see us, because we really give a shit about you, we really do, so, you know, there's that. I don't know. Networking of the Southern Illinois metal bands seems to be getting stronger and stronger, and you know, a lot of people bitch, oh, nothing's happening. Well, it's because you're not here doing anything to make it happen. Your ass is sitting in the living room playing Xbox. You do, and you're not there interacting with your community. You're not there making things happen. So, you know, like Ani said, be the change you want to see in the world. You know, it's not just because I'm noticing the shit, because I'm getting out and seeing people and trying to network a little bit. No, man, people are coming out of the woodwork in metal bands. There's a band, Harvester, coming out of like Eastern Illinois, Victaulic from Mount Vernon. Complete polar opposites, really great dudes. There's stuff coming out of El Dorado, Carbondale, Heron. Everywhere, man. There's all kinds of stuff. So right now, I believe we're seeing some sort of a mild resurgence and some actual glimmer of hope in the eyes of the folks in metal bands. So it's really cool to be around Southern Illinois metal at this particular time. It always has been, but you know, this is the shit, man.
Probably the greatest part about being in this band is the great people that it needs. Some of those individuals, the name a scant few, would be the guys from Spirit of Chaos. Love all of them to death. Great guys. Watchko Low Lights as well.
Cobra!
Yeah. Another group of great guys. If you ever get the chance to look up any other bands besides us, you can look them up as well.
Make sure you look up Death County as well.
Yeah.
They're from Carbondale.
Death County, they were cool. I actually saw them recently.
And, you know, it really is fun to make music with these guys, you know. Definitely a cathartic kind of thing, I don't know. Bras and tampons! We're in touch with lady things
That we like to touch.
When I started off on WDBX, I started off on Randy Oxshur's Folk Fiasco show, and he introduced me to folk music. And here a couple of months ago, some newcomers come onto the scene, the Voyagers. I'm going to let them kind of tell a little snippet of their story here in Southern Illinois and how they feel about it. But the Voyagers, bands like this only come around once in a while in the folk era. And these guys, they're new at their craft, but man, I can't wait to even see them, 10 years from now in the lineup, just the two of them. Here's Marshall Anderson and Janice Esch, the Voyagers.
My dad moved to Southern Illinois 7 or 8 years ago now and started playing with a colleague of his, Randy Oxshur, and some other people. And that band has gone through several incarnations, I think, of members, and we're sort of part of the newest incarnation. We play shows with Bone Dry River Band probably every several weeks, slightly less often than we do as a duo.
Yeah, I would say the Voyagers is really our main focus at the moment.
College in New York, actually, but playing together in this configuration in Southern Illinois, we sort of planned it out ahead of time. We've been playing for about 2 months.
I've drunk too much wine. We really like the music scene here. Actually, we both noticed that it's really supportive here. All the musicians are kind of always helping each other out, and how could I keep away?
Yeah, the music scene here is very supportive of any musicians, really. People seem to help each other out quite a bit. If there's a good venue to play, they'll be like, oh, hey, you guys should play here, or they'll suggest you to venue owners, or invite you to sit in with them.
Sorry, I treated you unkind.
And for the type of music we play, it makes a lot more sense. There's a lot of sort of alternative country, Americana stuff going on around here. And as Janice said, you don't get that in central New York.
Yeah, and it seems like it's possible here to actually make a living off of, just being a gigging musician.
Like out here, the venues know how to book live music. They know how to deal with live performers. They get you paid, and they're very professional about it. We're just trying to get our name out there, so we'll play for. A lot of times we'll play for tips and dinner, and a couple beers.
It's kind of a hidden gem. I don't think a lot of people know how good the music scene is here.
And I think something that's really interesting is, Americana music here is just sort of the norm. It's like if you're having a party, you're going to play music. If you're, hanging out having dinner, you're going to play music.
Yeah.
It's, it goes hand in hand with like everything else.
I think that's what attracts me to it here, because in more urban areas sometimes there's a kind of trendiness to the whole scene, but here it's really organic. Yeah.
With love from New Orleans, you're always on my mind. Crazy river, roll and run. I swear these chains may weigh a ton.
Interesting story, the way I come across the Whistle Pigs, I worked in the shop in Murfreesboro, and a gal came and I loaded a piece of furniture for her, and she had a Whistle Pigs bumper sticker, and I was new in town. I'm like, yeah, I want to hear that band. She said, oh, here's a CD. My son's in the band. You're on the radio. Play their music. Play my son's music. I got the Whistle Pigs in on my radio show, not really knowing what to expect and how they'd come across. I just knew I really enjoyed their music, their bluegrass style, or whatever style. I just really knew I enjoyed them, and I wanted them on the show. And the show was one of my favorite shows so far. And here's a little bit the Whistle Pigs telling about traveling, getting out of the area and checking out the whole United States, actually.
I'm Banjo Joe. I've been singing, playing banjo with Whistle Pigs
For a while now. I'm Nate. I'm the new guy. I play the bass.
I'm Delicious Aloysius, and I play the accordion.
I'm John, and I play the fiddle. So I like to do my long-term planning for my grandma. Of course. I saw her one day. I lived on farm, but she asked me, "You have a long-term plan?"
Yeah.
You guys ready to play too?
Yeah, we're gonna do one off of our long-term plan CD called "I Bought Whiskey," and it's a little D&M feed store over in Colville, Illinois. That gives me a little inspiration for it. Me and Al, we played together for years, I don't know.
We played in the Brook String Band, but
8-year anniversary?
yeah, something like that, about 8 years now or something. And Joe quit for a little bit, and the other members of the band moved off to Arkansas and joined up with Mountain Sprout, and then that was good for them. And then Joe and our old bass player Randy, they were all of a sudden started playing. My roommate showed up one day and late at night at my trailer, and he was like, "Hey man, Joe's out playing. Yeah, go up and see him." So I took my guitar up there, and he had some knucklehead playing guitar for him that didn't even play guitar, and just like sat there and drank beer.
I looked over and he'd be drinking his beer in the middle of the song.
I don't remember who that guy was, and I apologize for passing any bad words on about that person. But I started playing guitar, and then
But anyway, we ended up playing PKs for almost 3.5 years every Tuesday. Became a house band. And
I started playing the accordion.
Yeah, I went from guitar to accordion. To be honest, we've been busy. So Nate jumped right onto. We picked him up in Cape after he did a show with
Jango
Billy's. Yeah, and he drove straight to Arkansas. He's been with us a couple times since September. It's been pretty good.
We drive a lot.
Yeah, we drive. Mostly drive a minivan. I get a lot of weeks are 1,800 miles or more.
Well, my new goal, booking gigs, is find the town with one bar in the mountains and book that bar.
So everybody comes there.
Then they really don't have an option that night other than 100%. Sunday, it actually is the Roadhouse where we have a good time every time. It is always a party. How many people live in that town?
450.
How many people come and see us?
350.
350. So that means there's 100 people at home babysitting. Well, we just, it's every weekend we go somewhere, and then every once in a while we'll go for a couple of weeks. So like this week, we'll go to Chicago, play with the Hen House Prowlers for their weekly hometown gig, and then play a new place in Chicago, work our way back through Illinois all the way home with the wedding and Keith's up in Wyoming. At
The Poorhouse.
One of our favorite places.
Wyoming, Illinois.
And then, Wyoming, Illinois. And then we'll be home for a couple days, and then we'll go.
Be home for like a day.
2 days, yeah.
I think we're two. What we had to.
Wichita on Wednesday, so we'll be back on Sunday.
So we're gonna drive 9 hours on Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
To get to Wichita to play a show.
9 the next day, and then we'll be in Colorado for 2 weeks. We won't have to drive very far at all.
Sweet.
And then we'll come home and On the way home, we played Annie Mae's in Manhattan,
Kansas. How many? We have about.
And then
most of the gigs are in Colorado. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're home.
Yeah,
T-shirts.
Long-term plans sold out. We sold 2,000 since 09. But, you know, our crowds are what
from 5 to 500.
5 to 7,000. That's just a little. Yeah.
That's about like our pay.
Yeah, it's all over
Which
the
is
place.
proportionate. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we make more music than we do money.
It's a pay and dues thing. You gotta drive.
We've been playing a lot of festivals lately, and there's been some fun times out in Kansas and Missouri.
Oh yeah.
And we love it. It's like a party here. Everywhere I go, it's like a little party.
It's a little warm party in here.
We walk in a bar, somebody's buying whiskey shots.
Yeah. Comes and we're pumped to open for a clown Elvis. I mean, we'll take it, you know. I mean, we're trying.
Inspire CD, help us fulfill our dream of getting that trailer park in the Bahamas. Be part of the
We got no money.
You know, I was working at the shop one day and I met this guy, Big Larry Williams, and he dropped off this CD, and I checked it out, and we just kind of like started playing it as the background music at the store continuously. And when I got the local artist show, I always wanted to get Big Larry Williams, and then it just so happened this summer I filmed him at the Murfreesboro Blues Festival and got some footage of him live. And then Leon and I were at the radio show one day, and Big Larry just happened to pop in on us, and it was one of the most happiest moments of a pop-in, of someone just stopping in on the show and, you know, telling us a little bit about themselves on WDBX, and having the opportunity to play his music right there for him is really a personal experience with Big Larry Williams, and I'd have to say my ultimate favorite show.
I'm down here with the fellas at the radio station, and I dropped by to see what was going on. I was in the neighborhood and I just dropped in, and so we're doing a little thing here this afternoon. I hope that you enjoy it. I got this CD here, Love You Till the End of Time, and I'd like to do a tune off of it by the name of Rainy Night in Georgia.
What inspired you to pick this song, Larry, to put it on your CD?
It just a song that I recorded because I loved Ray Charles so much. And of all the songs I've got on here, that means more to me at this particular time. I just say the rest of them, but they all are good. But it's just one of my choices is Rainy Night in Georgia.
Seemed I hear your voice a-calling.
Rainy Night in Georgia, Big Larry off his CD.
A rainy night in Georgia. A rainy night in Georgia. Lord, I believe it's raining all over the world.
And I just loved Ray Charles. That was one of my favorites. Because I'm old, too. I've been selected in this area as a blues singer. But I sing anything. It don't matter. Music is something I love. And I really come from gospel. That's where I learned when I was a child. I started out years and years ago with a woman named Miss Effa Flinall at my church. She was a keyboardist there, and I used to just walk down the street singing all the time. And a lot of people say, "Man, why don't you cut out all that noise? You just singing and hollering, you know." And so I was in church at this particular Sunday, and I've always been boisterous. And she heard me, and she said, "You want to sing?" I said, "Yeah, I would love to be a singer."
been hearing around town that you're gonna leave me, you're gonna put me down. Well, my baby, I've been hearing around town that you're tired of me, you're gonna put me down. Well, I might as well pack my suitcase and buy myself a ticket out of this town.
And so she took me on her wing, and that started when I was, I guess I was in my young teens, and I was young, 12 or 14 years old. And that's how I got started in singing. It started from gospel.
What's it like playing with your son?
Great. He's a great entertainer. He's got a voice like a bird. He sings beautifully. James is a fantastic young man. At one time I had a big band. I had a 9-piece group out of Springfield. It was called Big Larry and the Mellow Fellows. And I had to go back to work, and so I gave it to my brother Ronnie and Twist. And that's how Twist became Big Twist and the Mellow Fellows. Then I got with my brother's band, and we went to Italy, Spain, Germany, various countries, you know. I've had my hands in a lot of things. I chopped cotton when I was a kid. I picked cotton. I picked apples and peaches and such. I've done a lot of things.
I know now. You ain't gonna make it by yourself. I know, little girl. Lord, yeah, you ain't gonna make it by yourself. Because all the pretty things about you, Lord, I'm taking them all off the shelf.
You know, it's so important to be able to control your destiny. Now I'm settled here in Carbondale, and which I've been here now 42 years, I think. And that's about it for that.
Because I want you to know that love don't live here no more. No. Oh, don't come knocking at my door. I want you to know that love don't live here no more. Because you're telling people in the streets you're tired of me. And you say you don't want me no more. Hey!
The band Way Zongle come across, and I noticed this guy just stood out as the main composer, the main guy. I got in touch with him, Rob Jacobs, and I got Way Zongle in. The music that they offer is something I had never heard of or never really seen right there in my face being performed locally. It's 2 clarinets, Rob on the guitar, a female bass player, percussionist, and a snare drum player. And we squeezed everybody into the studio, and I just got some of the most electric music. Never had time for an interview, so the next film I'm going to really get a hold of Way Zongle and get them in on that, the next one. I really enjoyed WDBX's diversity. It gives all of us DJs an opportunity to give people a voice in the community that otherwise would go unheard. I'm honored to have the Local Artists Forum on WDBX, and I'm proud to say that yes, I am a DJ on WDBX, 91.1 FM community radio for Southern Illinois. There's nothing else to say right now. You're rocking with the Ox and Leon show. It's the Local Artists Forum, and we'll be right back with more from Way Zongle right after these messages.